Welcome back to another video. How's everyone doing? I put a video up yesterday. I just wanted you guys to know that I did the video upstairs in a room that doesn't have air conditioning connected to it. And it was like 104 degrees yesterday. And so I'm not sure if you can tell, but in that video, I was sweating so much. I was like wiping sweat off my face and oh my gosh. But you know, in that moment, that's what lined up for me as far as making a video. And so, but this one, I am downstairs, air conditioning. It is perfect temperature. I am not sweating excessively. So I just wanted to explain that. I'm not sure if you noticed, but anyways, in this video, I want to talk about the afterlife. I want to talk about the mirrors of Osmos, which is a soul trap mechanism, and I'm going to explain all of that in a second. This is something newer. Honestly, I have not talked to anybody about this yet. No one else has talked to me about it. I have not seen any videos on YouTube about it. I'm surprised. I'm like actually shocked that there aren't other people talking about this. But this is something newer in the etheric plane. I'm most certain it's just it's a soul trap mechanism, mainly in the etheric plane, etheric matter, and maybe I don't know. I didn't know what to make of it. You know, maybe a year or two ago, started to observe it, started to notice these rectangular mirrors. They're really tall mirrors, so they're really vertical, like really tall, and maybe like they're about. I guess the best way, as far as a measurement goes, I think that they're about 6 feet tall, and they're about maybe about 2 feet wide, okay, in around there. It's a mirror. It's got a almost a dark, kind of a blackish border around the mirror, and then around the edges of that dark outline, you can kind of see like just kind of a whitish glow or energetic kind of glow emanating around it. Okay, so that's the way I've perceived it from my out-of-body experiences. Let me drink some coffee. Hold on. And so when you see them, these mirrors are never like on a wall. They're never on like the ground or right in front of you. They're hovering. Okay, so they're always hovering, and sometimes they're at different angles like that, right? And they're usually about like 5 or 10 feet above you. So that's what I've noticed with these so far. And what I think is happening now is a new soul trap mechanism. Some of these beings are utilizing different types of tactics and ways to basically steal consciousness, right? That's what they're doing. They want your energy. They want your consciousness, okay? And they're going through doing all these different types of things, these tricks and stuff, just to harness that. And and this is so. I think that this particular mirror, which also acts like a portal, is a newer soul trap mechanism. It's more recent. I don't ever remember seeing it, years and years ago or when I was a kid and stuff, right? And the thing about this mirror, though, is I think human beings, from when we're little kids, we spend. I don't spend a lot of time, in the mirror, but a lot of people do. A lot of people are really addicted to looking at themselves in mirrors and looking at their reflection. And so when you're out of body in your etheric body, and you've just, let's say, passed away from the physical body, your physical body has died, and now you are let's just say, for example, your consciousness is now centered in your etheric energy body, right? When you see these hovering mirrors of Osmos, and I'll explain why I'm calling it Osmos. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. You can see your reflection of your energy body in that mirror. And I think that maybe nowadays, at least current timeline, I think that maybe 3%, maybe 5%, maybe even more of people after they've passed away and they run into these mirrors, especially if you've never had out-of-body experiences before, especially if you're not familiarized with just what is happening, with these other bodies. Because a lot of people are oblivious to all this stuff. I don't want to say ignorant to it, they're just oblivious to it. And then they see their reflection in this mirror, and then they get curious, right? And then what do? They go up to it. They go up to it to see themselves in it, okay? And now this is what's happening. Here's the thing. Something to be aware of. You don't want to be those 3% or 5% or whatever is going on now as far as percentages go, and how many people are getting soul trapped through the mirrors of Osmos, okay? And now I'm going to speak from personal experience. Personal experience. Thank goodness my physical body wasn't already dead. Thank goodness I still had my silver cord energy from my etheric body and physical body connected. Etheric energy from all of that connected to me during this experience. But what happened to me was I started to see these mirrors, and I went up to it, and I wasn't even maybe 3 feet away from it. I wasn't even touching it or putting my energy body hand through the mirror, nothing like that. I was just in front of it. And then like a vacuum turned on, and it just started to suck my whole energy body into the mirror. Like it was strong. Like the feeling of it was like when I was younger and I was surfing and I got pulled into the wave, into the undertow of the wave, and then I started spinning in the wave, and the seawater was going up my nostrils and out my mouth, and it's burning like crazy up here. So it's kind of like that force of like a wave where it just pulled me in, sucked me in, and I kind of like lost control of my energy body. I was spinning around, all kinds of stuff. And when it did that, though, when I heard that kind of that vacuum kind of sound, like it was vacuum sucking me into it, I knew that it was some kind of mouse trap, definitely a soul trap, a trick. And as it was happening, I was like, what in the world is this? But at the same time, though, I knew that I was still connected to my physical body, right? We could argue about silver cords all day if you like. I can make videos more about it too if you want. But I do believe that while your human body is still alive and your etheric body is connected to your physical body, that silver cord is alive and well. That energetic connection is there, and it's almost like a protection device. It's a protector. It protects you. So when you're going out and doing astral projection, having out of bodies, all these types of things, you have a protection system, a harness, so to speak, that can just pull you right back. I think it's one of the purposes of the silver cord. It helps to protect us. So I had all that going on in my consciousness during this time, and now I get sucked through this mirror, which is like a portal, and then I find myself in a room that's about, I don't know, maybe about 20 feet across. It's about 20 feet by 20 feet, not too big. And then there's this like an artificial turf, like an artificial grass kind of carpet, and there's just 2 chairs and a little table in between the chairs, and the walls are 3D. Like what do I mean by that? Like they're just walls that go way, way, way up high, like huge, huge walls. But when you look at the walls, they're kind of like they're a barrier. They're solid, but at the same time, there's like this 3D landscape, like a holographic kind of image within the walls where you're looking out into the wall, and there's like trees and there's fields and there's mountains in the backdrop and all kinds of stuff, and it almost looked like it was like animated or it was like alive, so very holographic in a way, but it was obvious that they were just these huge walls just surrounding the room. And just a little space there. And I was by myself, and right when I was there, what I did was I because meditating while you're out of body, meditation process is a lot easier and faster when you're out of body. And so I was like, well, stupid Jeremy, what did you do? You went through a mirror, and now you're in some, VR, some other virtual reality. Now you're stuck here. Now you gotta end your OB and go back to home base. Go back to what I call my human body home base. Okay. And so I just sit down in one of those chairs, right? And I remember putting my energy body, hands, arms on the armrests, closing my eyes, and then saying, okay, I got stuck in this stupid mirror, and it's time to go get back to home base and end this out of body experience. Drink some coffee. So as I'm doing that, all of a sudden I feel this draft, like a really cold draft. It just kind of comes all around me, and it actually distracted me in that moment. And then I ended up opening my eyes, and there is a massive being, 10 feet tall, humanoid, masculine, real buff, muscular, human-like face, big beard, and it had a huge lion's tail. Huge lion's tail. I mean, it was like big, really big. And then it sits down. It sits down in this little chair, right? And the chair is like it's just like a regular little chair. And it looked like, honestly, in that moment, I was actually laughing in my mind. I was like, this is hilarious. I don't even know how this huge being can even sit in that chair. But anyways, it sat down, and then I've been having enough out of body experiences and using my observational skills and critical assessments, critical thinking skills, while out of bodies, lucid dreaming, and all that stuff. So most people will start kind of like freaking out about it or whatever. For me, I'm like asking questions, right? First thing comes to my mind, that experience is, what is this room and who are you? I'm like just asking direct questions. I want to see the response, right? And and that's what I said. I said, what is this room and who are you? Kind of adamantly, aggressively asking. This being got a little agitated, very agitated with me, because it realized that, for starters, I think it knew that my physical body was still alive. Okay, let's start there. It knew I was still energetically connected to that etheric body, connect to the physical body, silver cord. It knew it. It was obvious. It knew I didn't actually die. And it just said, you shouldn't be here. This happens a lot, right? In out-of-body experiences, you shouldn't be here. What are you doing here, right? And I said, I like your little soul trap mirror mechanism. So I knew, just from having my own experience with that, with the mirror, I knew that it was being used as a mousetrap to capture, random consciousness in the etheric plane, and steal our consciousness, basically. That is my impression of it. Okay, that's the feeling I had. And again, the being's just saying, you shouldn't be here. You got to get out of here. So it stood up, and it was massive, so big. And I said, "What's your name?" And the being did not respond at all. And then what I did was a different kind of tactic, which you can do when you're out of body. It was more of like a telepathic it's like almost like connecting to the being telepathically, but like kind of like on a subconscious level, right? And so on a subconscious level, so to speak, I mentally projected to the being, well, you could put the writing on the wall, and there's a wall right behind me, right? Put the writing on the wall, and it started leaving. I started to feel almost like a reverse vacuum effect, to where my energy body was getting pulled out of there and out of this dimensional space that this being is made to capture consciousness. And as I'm leaving, I see the lettering, the writing, the letters on the wall. And they distinctly said, and it was obvious, they said Osmos, okay? And it was spelled ASMOS. Sorry, let me drink some more coffee. Clear my throat. It said Osmos. So that's why the video title is The Mirrors of Osmos, soul trap mechanism. So since then, I do not mess around with mirrors, especially these rectangular the one I described, the ones that floating mirrors. I don't mess with them. They're a newer tactic, a newer soul trap. I just started to notice them maybe the last year or so. Kind of ignored it, thought it was just random. But then when I had my experience, I realized, well, first of all, luckily my physical body is still alive. Luckily, my etheric body and silver cord energetics, right, those connections are all there. Luckily, I had that protection. Because I wonder if I actually had passed away and accidentally stumbled across this mirror. I'm just calling it the Mirror of Osmos. That's just what I've, how I've titled it, right? That's what makes sense to me. I wonder what would happen if I didn't have access to my human body, So it's a good question. So I think I don't want to know. Let's avoid it. So this video is to shine some light on not just that particular experience I had, but on the observation of just this different type of soul trap mechanism that's starting to, do its thing, right? And again, I'll end the video here. I think that from what I witnessed and from what I have observed and experienced, I believe that just this particular soul trap is something that is probably capturing, like I said, I'm not sure if I said it already, but like 3% of people, 5% of people after they die, actually die from the physical body. And human beings love mirrors, right? I think this being Osmos using the mirror as a way to lure you close enough to the mirror so it can pull you in, right? I think it understands human beings' obsession with mirrors, and that's why it chose this particular type of mechanism. All right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. We'll talk to you soon. If you want me to talk more about this, it's great. Leave it in the comments. But this is something I've been wanting to talk to you about for weeks. Finally getting to it. All right? I'm going to get into a rhythm with my uploading. All right? Peace, sending positive energy. Bye.